Hi, I'm Alan Williams. Here is what I would like you to remember about me. My parents owned a cattle ranch at the mouth of Tie Fork Canyon, known today as Sky View Motel. My schooling was gained at Tucker and Spanish Fork. Due to the ill health of my father and being the oldest son in the family, I went to work at the early age of 14 for the DNRG Railroad. It was during the end of World War I and help was badly needed. I worked on the railroad for several years on different job assignments, then for Columbia Steel at Ironton when it was under construction, and also the blast furnace and coke oven departments. After about 2 years at the steel mills, I went back to ranching at Tucker and went in the sheep business with my folks. We acquired a fine enterprise and things were looking good. At this time, I married Delilah Gardner on April 2, 1930 in the Salt Lake LDS Temple. After our marriage, the depression of the 1930s hit and in spite of several years' work, we lost all our holdings. All I had left was 2 green hands and the determination to feed my wife and 2 young daughters. So, from that time in my life, I have worked for heavy industries in our state. I hired out to the American Smelting and Refining Company in Garfield, Utah in July 1935 until about June 1946. It was at the Garfield plant that I realized the need for learning a trade to qualify for higher pay for my family. I enrolled in the International Correspondence School in automobile and shop maintenance. I also enrolled at the West High School in Salt Lake City, where I received training in machinist trade 3 days a week and in welding, 2 days a week. I attended these classes for over 4 years while working full-time at the smelter. The time finally came when I quit the smelter and hired out at Tooele Ordnance Depot, where I could utilize my training. I worked as an auto mechanic. I worked in the shop on all of Uncle Sam's mobile equipment. While at Tooele, the shop superintendent offered me a chance to go to Guam to teach the soldiers auto mechanics and welding. I accepted this opportunity, but before leaving, I moved my family down to Spanish Fork where we owned our own home. Our family at this time consisted of 4 girls and 1 boy, the youngest being just a year old. In Guam, our welding classes were held in an Army Quonset hut, but the auto mechanics classes were held outside, in the almost daily rains, followed by hot tropical sun. I enjoyed my work in Guam, but disliked being separated from my family. I had an experience in Guam that nearly cost me my life. It was while picking up seashells in the ocean that a soldier boy and myself were caught in a tidal wave following a typhoon which struck Yap Island. We were saved miraculously from drowning through the power of prayer. The same day, 2 other men were drowned on the island, caught in similar circumstances. Upon returning from Guam, I hired out with Pacific States Cast Iron Pipe Company, where I have worked for the past 22 years. I have worked in several heavy industries, totaling about 50 years of my life, and I must say I have found no better men to work with, especially my immediate superiors that I have worked under in the machine shop and the various department heads. My old saying about my hobbies is, I'd trade you anything I have, except my wife, 5 children, 19 grandchildren and my .270 rifle. My most loved hobbies are my rifles and hunting. As a schoolboy, I acquired all my clothing money by shooting black bear and coyotes for their bounty, which was $30 for bear and $6 for coyotes. So, I really gained my love for the rifle and it was almost a necessity on our ranch in the canyon, as well as a means for material things. It meant my life when I was confronted by a bear. I have reloaded my own ammunition since 1936. It is really an enjoyable and profitable hobby. With just a bit of pride, I believe I have the most complete loading outfit that I have seen. I love hunting and fishing. A dream of a lifetime came true when my wife and I took a 6-week trip to Alaska in 1968. Another prize hobby is my boat to be finished.